Nintendo is a Japanese multinational consumer electronics and video game company headquartered in Kyoto, Japan. The company was founded on September 23rd, 1889 by Fusajiro Yamauchi. And as a lot of us know, the company is still alive and healthy. How did it become so popular? Well, let's find out. As a card company, 1889 to 1956. Nintendo was founded as a playing card company by Fusajiro Yamauchi on September 23rd, 1889. Based in Kyoto, the business produced and marketed Hanafuda cards. The handmade cards soon became popular, and Yamauchi hired assistants to mass-produce cards to satisfy demand. The company was formally established as an unlimited partnership titled Yamauchi Nintendo & Company Limited in 1933. It changed its name to Nintendo Playing Card Company Limited in 1951. Nintendo continues to manufacture playing cards in Japan and organizes its own contract bridge tournament called the Nintendo Cup. The word Nintendo can be translated as leave luck to heaven, or alternatively as the Temple of Free Hanafuda. New Ventures, 1956 to 1974. In 1956, Hiroshi Yamauchi, grandson of Fusajiro Yamauchi, visited the U.S. to talk with the United States Playing Card Company, the dominant playing card manufacturer there. He found the biggest playing card company in the world was using only a small office. Yamauchi's realization that the playing card business had limited potential was a turning point. He then acquired the license to use Disney characters on playing cards to drive sales. In 1963, Yamauchi renamed the Nintendo Playing Card Company Limited to Nintendo Company Ltd, which is Nintendo Company Limited. The company then began to experiment in other areas of business, using newly injected capital during the period of time between 1963 and 1968. Nintendo set up a taxi company called Daiya. This business was initially successful. However, Nintendo was forced to sell it because problems with the labor unions were making it too expensive to run the service. It also set up a love hotel chain, a TV network, a food company selling instant rice, and several other ventures. All of these ventures eventually failed, and after the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, playing card sales dropped, and Nintendo's stock price plummeted to its lowest recorded level of 60 yen. In 1963, Nintendo moved into the Japanese toy industry with the Ultra Hand, an extendable arm developed by its maintenance engineer Gunpei Yokoi in his free time. Yokoi was moved from maintenance to the new Nintendo Games department as a product developer. Nintendo continued to produce popular toys, including the Ultra Machine, Love Tester, and the Koyusen-gen series of light gun games. Despite some successful products, Nintendo struggled to meet the fast development and manufacturing turnaround required in the toy market and fell behind the well-established companies such as Bandai and Tommy. In 1973, its focus shifted to family entertainment venues with the laser clay shooting system, using the same light gun technology used in Nintendo's Koyusen-gen series of toys, and set up in abandoned bowling alleys. Following some successes, Nintendo developed several more light gun machines, such as the light gun shooter game, Wild Gunman for the emerging arcade scene. While the laser play shooting system ranges had to be shut down following excessive costs, Nintendo had found a new market. Early electronic era, 1974 to 1978. Nintendo's first venture into the video game industry was securing rights to distribute the Magnavox Odyssey video game console in Japan in 1974. Nintendo began to produce its own hardware in 1977 with the Color TV game home video game consoles. 4 versions of these consoles were produced, each including variations of a single game. For example, Color TV Game 6 features 6 versions of Light Tennis. A student product developer named Shigeru Miyamoto was hired by Nintendo at this time. He worked for Yokoi, and one of his first tasks was to design the casing for several of the Color TV game consoles. Miyamoto went on to curate, direct, and produce some of Nintendo's most famous video games and become one of the most recognizable figures in the video game industry. In 1975, Nintendo moved into the video arcade game industry with EVR Racing, designed by their first game designer, Genyo Takeo, and several more games followed. Nintendo had some small success with this venture, but the release of Donkey Kong in 1981, designed by Miyamoto, changed Nintendo's fortunes dramatically. The success of the game and many licensing opportunities, such as ports on the Atari 2600 and television and ColecoVision, gave Nintendo a huge boost in profit. In addition, the game also introduced an early iteration of Mario, then known in Japan as Jumpman, the eventual company mascot. Nintendo would continue to manufacture arcade games and systems until 1992. First video game success, 1979 to 1982. In 1979, Gunpei Yokoi convinced the idea of a handheld video game while observing a fellow bullet train commuter who has passed the time by interacting idly with a portable LCD calculator. The idea became Game & Watch. In 1980, Nintendo launched a Game & Watch, a handheld video game series developed by Yokoi. These systems do not contain interchangeable cartridges, and thus the hardware was tied to a game. The first Game & Watch game, Ball, was distributed worldwide. The modern cross D-pad design was developed in 1982 by Yokoi for a Donkey Kong version. Proven to be popular, the design was patented by Nintendo. It later earned a Technology and Engineering Emmy Award. Nintendo Entertainment System and Game Boy, 1983 to 1989. In 1983, Nintendo launched the Family Computer, colloquialized as Famicom, home video game console in Japan, alongside ports of its most popular arcade games. In 1985, a cosmetically reworked version of the system known outside of Japan as the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, launched in North America. The practice of bundling the system along with select games helped to make Super Mario Bros. One of the best video games in history.